This is Sky Sports 2.
Going live.
3,
Stand by.
2,
Activate.
1.
All systems go.
We're live.
Duckham's, sponsors of the Nationwide League, on Sky.
It's a digital football thing. Keep the game on the bench. Now it's time to lift it up into the net. Never give up. England's
When it comes to Wembley, Grimsby have been there, seen it, done it. Likewise, Northampton Town. Now, Alan Buckley and Ian Atkins are desperate to do it again.
a golden goal for Wembley. Absolutely incredible.
Wembley Way is heaving. More than 60,000 are here today for the second division playoff final. It took Grimsby Town 120 years to reach Wembley for the first time. Now their supporters are back for the second time in 5 weeks. The auto windscreen shield safely locked away in the Blundell Park trophy cabinet. But will that famous old ground by the sea be hosting first division football next season? This lot certainly hope so. Cobblers is what that lot would say. 12 months ago, Northampton were a third division side. 3 hours from now, they could be back in the first. A record 40,000 plus Northampton fans expected, hoping to celebrate the completion of a remarkable transformation. It's going to be very tight though. Precious little separates these two sides. Well, this is the Northampton team arriving. Familiar territory for them, of course. Relaxed smiles at the moment. And a fairly happy-looking manager, Ian Atkins. What a job he has done over the last couple of years. Remember, this team is still in voluntary receivership. There's Jason Dazelle, one of their more experienced campaigners. Will he figure today, I wonder? He's only a substitute last time out. And there's Chris Freestone, their £75,000 signing from Middlesbrough. And this is Grimsby, back in town, just 5 weeks after that storming success in the Order windscreen shield. First man off the coach there, by the way, was Jack Lester, who missed that game. He was suspended. There's Kevin Donovan, who's had such a tremendous season. And Alan Buckley back at Grimsby after 18 difficult months at West Brom. What a return for him. Aidan Davison, the goalkeeper, and Mark Lever, last man off the coach. There he is. Well, it's a grey Wembley day, but I'm sure the Mariners and the Cobblers will spice things up. The final hurdle for them, the hardest point at which to fall. My guests today are Tommy Widrington, Grimsby's joint record signing, whose season has been scuppered by injury, and the Division 2 Manager of the Year, John Ward of Bristol City, who went up automatically and in some style. And talking of styles, John, we have two teams with very different philosophies today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I don't think Alan will ever sort of abolish his ways of playing the game. He's very much a passing manager, wants the team to pass, and maybe, if I could be critical, he perhaps overpasses sometimes. Ian's probably had less resources to work with his side, and will openly admit sometimes that he sets out to frustrate the opposition, but he's got a bit of power and pace at the front of his team as well, and he uses that to good effect.
But the Cobblers aren't just cloggers, are they?
No, they're not. They don't have 2 years like they've just had. If they do that, they're good players, and they're very well organised, and Tommy will tell you as well, I think Grimsby are a bit concerned about the set plays against them as well. They're very powerful in those areas of the field, but you can only make those useful if you get in those areas. So they do get forward well, and they do use use all their strengths.
Is that a major concern for Grimsby, the set pieces today, Tommy?
Well, I'm sure all over the pitch they're by far and away taller than us in every department. They've got a couple of tall strikers, big centre-halves, and we're not really a tall side because, as John says, we like to keep the ball on the floor. And I feel if we can get the ball on the floor and get some passing movements going of our own, they'll struggle to keep up with us.
You've been down with the boys this morning. What's the feeling like in the dressing room?
Well, it's remarkably relaxed, like you said in your intro. There's only 5 weeks since they were here before, but we've got to remember that Northampton were here only 12 months ago and tasted the sweet smell of success when they come up to this division, and I'm sure their fans, all 40,000 of them, will be expecting the same again this season.
Well, we're halfway through this Wembley bank holiday football feast. No goals for England or Saudi Arabia yesterday. This is what happened in the third division playoff on Friday night.
Headed down here towards Forbes, and he looked for the handball there against Gittins, and the referee gives it. Last year, Colchester lost at Wembley on penalties. Now they have a penalty, which David Gregory will take to try and put them ahead in the playoff final. He withstood the pressure of the semi-final to score from the spot. Can David Gregory do it at Wembley as well? Yes, he can. It's in off the post. Colchester in the lead. Gone right to the back to Gittins, and right across, Watson's shot, and then Gittins blasts it over the top. Here's Buckle, and suddenly there's an opening for David Gregory, and Gibbs came back with a challenge.
I think Colchester still having a half-time cup of tea, Rob.
Here's McFarlane, and it might fall to Gibbs. And it's come to Gurney. Oh, it was diverted away by the goalkeeper. Gibbs, another check on the watch, and Colchester are there. Steve Wignall's side have earned promotion to the second division.
So a golden night for Colchester on Friday. Which team will be celebrating this afternoon, I wonder? Well, our reporter Alan Bentley has been talking to some of the key performers.
Chris, you were here a couple of times with Middlesbrough, but as I understand it, you didn't get on.
No, I mean, it was disappointing all around because we lost both finals when I came here last. Hopefully it'll be different today.
I mean, how much are you looking forward to this?
It's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. I mean, everybody wants a chance to play at Wembley, and with any luck I'll get mine today.
John, there's not too many players who score with an overhead kick at Wembley. Can you remind us of the circumstances?
I remember when it was about 5 minutes ago when the gaffer showed on the bench like this 5 minutes ago, and we had a free kick, and I always remember like Vince Iverson, he's just headed it back to me, and I'm just like, you know, like an extinction, just knocked it over the top corner.
Lee, you know what it's like to score here, but you know what it's like to lose here as well. I mean, what did that feel like?
Well, after playing so well on the day, obviously very disappointed. Played ever so well for, I thought, an hour, and you know, the feeling's just dejection, and what can you say? There's nothing you can say to the lads or anything. You just, that's it. You've lost, and you've got to go on to the next, unfortunately.
But you did play in the auto windscreen shield. Although the fact that you came off, did that slightly take the gloss off it for you personally?
No. I mean, it was a terrific result for us. It was a warmer day than today, so hopefully I can last a bit longer, and hopefully it won't go into extra time, and we can win it within 90 minutes.
Kevin, 20 goals this season. What's been the secret of your success? What's changed?
I'm not sure really. I'm playing with a good set of lads, good footballers. They've created the chances for me, so maybe that's something to do with it.
And of course you got the goal that effectively got Grimsby here as well.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we've played a full season, so I mean everybody's contributed, but as you say, that was the last one that got us here to the final.
And of course you've also played here before and scored here before. What was that like?
Good, tremendous, good feeling. A long time ago now, about 5 or 6 years ago, but it was one of the best feelings I've had in football.
Well, they're all experienced campaigners now, and it does have to help, John, that Grimsby were here just 5 weeks ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does, and Tommy will say that, but even so, like Northampton know about this place as well and got themselves a win, as you said, a year ago. But I think coming within 5 weeks, you don't have to bring your players to look around the place or see what it's like or taste the atmosphere. It's still fresh for them, and that'll be a help to Grimsby.
This is different though, isn't it, Tommy? I mean, the Order windscreen was a great day out for both sides, win or lose, but the losers today go home with their tails between their legs, as we saw Torquay go home on Friday night.
Well, that's right. We've played 46 games in the league this season, and as it happens this year in this particular playoff final, it's the third and fourth teams that are playing, but I'm not such a big fan of it when it occurs that the team in sixth place, who possibly have 5 or 6 points less than the team in third place, still have that chance of escaping out of that division. I mean, we came down into this division last season, finishing third from bottom, and there was no escape route for us. We were down as the third from bottom team, and I feel this season we finished third from top, and possibly we deserve the right to get back into the first division.
Fair point. Well, Grimsby have been in the playoff places for the last 3 months of the regular campaign, but both teams ended the season poorly, so confidence wasn't sky high when they went into the playoff semi-finals. Grimsby travelled to Craven Cottage to face Kevin Keegan's Fulham and fell behind on the stroke of half-time. Paul Groves committed that foul. Peter Beardsley completed the task. Fulham already down to 10 men by then, following Paul Moody's sending off. And a sloppy back pass by Wayne Collins allowed David Smith to steal in and level at 1-1. Paul Pescasolido was sent off early in the second leg at Blundell Park, and more defensive frailty from Fulham let in Kevin Donovan to score what proved to be the decisive goal. Northampton's semi-final opponents were Bristol Rovers. First leg at the Memorial Ground, first strike to the home side on the half hour. Ian Sampson, the offender, Peter Beadle, the scorer. Rovers doubled their lead 7 minutes later. Frankie Bennett with that header. And the Cobblers were 3 behind just after the break. Barry Hales was allowed to wriggle through the defence to slot home, and that looked to be that. But 15 minutes from the end, John Gale lobbed the stranded keeper Andy Collett to salvage some hope for the return game at the Sixfield Stadium. Carl Heggs opened the scoring there, tapping in from close range late in the first half. Then it was Ian Clarkson's turn, his effort levelling the scores on aggregate. The party celebrations were warming up. And the winning goal came 13 minutes from time, Ray Warburton scoring his first of the season to set up a return trip to Wembley for Ian Atkins' team. Wonderful night for Northampton, and we can now hear from both sets of supporters, starting with the Mariners.
Really looking forward to it. There's only 20,000 of us here, but against 2-1, we'll outshout them all the way to Division 1. We won't be going to Manchester City next year, Northampton will be.
Oh, we're the best team in the division. No, there's no question, is there? I mean, we should be up there right in the top, Division 1.
Today's going to be a case of a game of a passing team versus a direct team. And the victory is going to be for football today.
We play here more times than anyone.
Yeah!
We're so regular, aren't we?
Yeah!
It costs us a fortune to travel here.
Yeah!
We'll be here next season as well.
Physical side of things, I think we're a lot stronger than them. We've got a good, solid defence and will to win, really.
I think Grimsby are a better footballing side than Northampton, but Northampton played really well against Bristol Rovers when they came back from 3-1 down. And I hope that if they play a lot like that, then I think they've got a good chance today.
Well, Ian Atkins has got a team together on a budget of next to nothing. And over the last 4 or 5 seasons, what they've done from going out of business to 2 consecutive years at Wembley, there's no way we're going to lose.
Well, there really is a terrific atmosphere inside the ground this afternoon, and expectation levels have risen quite remarkably for both sets of supporters, haven't they, John?
Yeah, they have. I mean, particularly as you see the guy there talking about Northampton's fortunes, how they've changed in the last sort of 2 years. It's fantastic what Ian's done there, and he's done it on a low budget, as you say, and I think that's a fantastic effort from him. But as Alan's principles of play, and he's bought players to play the way he wants to do, and I knew last year when I saw them play in the first division that they would be a threat this year in our league, and it's been a tough one for them.
Tommy, tell me about the Grimsby fans. I actually stood on the terraces during the first leg of the semi-final at Fulham, and they struck me as being quite a pessimistic bunch, even though they managed to get a 1-1 draw in London. Is that being a little bit unfair?
Well, I think so. I mean, we didn't take that many fans down to Fulham, if I can remember correctly, and Fulham were really on top early on in the game, and maybe they were a little bit subdued. But I mean, they're very optimistic, as that man there said. They will be back again next year. Well, I don't know about that, but you know, twice in 1 year is fantastic for them because they're a loyal bunch of fans. You know, we don't get massive gates like in Manchester City's, who are going to be on a different planet next season in this division. So I'm pleased for the fans because they stuck by us after the relegation. In fact, our gates have gone up this season because we've had quite a good season.
And can they outshout Northampton, even though they're very much outnumbered?
Well, they're a loud bunch up there, you know, and when they do get behind the team, they really can feel it on the pitch there. So I hope they do try. But 2-1's a good start, especially at Wembley, because the noise is generated across the pitch. But I'm sure they'll be singing at the top of their voices.
I'm sure they will be. Let's get all the team news from our reporter Alan Bentley.
Yes, thanks a lot, Marcus. Both sides have bags of Wembley experience, as we've heard, and no great surprises in either camp. So let's get straight on with it, starting with Grimsby Town. And of course, if we start with them, well, the one change from the auto windscreen shield was Jack Lester. He was suspended that day. In fact, he didn't even come down here. He's up front alongside Lee Nogan, who lost here for Reading a few years ago. In goal, well, Aidan Davison has kept 30 clean sheets this season. Mark Lever, he's hoping for a fairy tale end to his testimonial year. And Tony Gallimore is okay after a knee scare, and his wife gave birth this week. Wayne Burnett, remember, he got the golden goal against Bournemouth, while Donovan and Groves have 32 goals between them, 20 for Kevin Donovan. And on the bench, Kingsley Black, he's looking for a 7th Wembley appearance. Switching across then to Northampton Town, and Woodman, Clarkson, Crane, Sampson, Warburton and Peer figured in last season's playoff final. Peer was substitute that day. Veteran John Frayne scored the dramatic late winner against Swansea, and Carl Heggs incidentally played for Swansea that day. It's a 4th Wembley appearance for Colin Hill. He's won and lost playoff finals. And top scorer Chris Freestone, he was signed on Christmas Eve from Middlesbrough. He was in the Borough squad for last season's cup final. Veteran Jason Dazelle, he has to settle for a place on the bench. That's it, Marcus. Back to you up top.
Thank you, Alan. Some quite experienced players on the respective benches. No big surprise in that Grimsby starting lineup, is there?
Not really. I would say that was possibly the manager's strongest side, present company accepted, actually. but I mean, the one possibility I thought he may have gone with was the height and the robust figure of Steve Livingston. As anybody's seen the windscreen final, he came on and made a real difference to the game. And as we said before, in all departments, Northampton are bigger and are stronger than us. But you know, sometimes it doesn't matter how big you are. They say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And like I said, we got to get the ball down and get our passing movements going and get our wingers the ball, and that's the way we can get at them.
And Jason Dazelle on the bench for Northampton, how does he fit into the side? Because we've said they're quite direct, and he's a fairly intricate sort of player.
Yeah, I think Ian's used him as just in behind people at the front, but I think it looks a real positive lineup from Northampton there, with Gale and Heggs and Freeston at the front of this side, who are all very much forward players. So it looks as if Ian's going to try and get his ball into the front and work off Big John and get the pace round about him. But yeah, Jason's played in behind a little bit and passes and keeps the game going. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack this one now.
Well, the Northampton fans have been flocking down the M1 all morning. Remember, some 40,000 of them expected. They made this exact journey 12 months ago. They're in good voice. Also on their way down, the Mayor of Northampton and the MP for Northampton South.
Two very proud men, aren't we?
We are
absolutely.
Through. So somebody said if we cut our heads off, we'd probably be claret and white all the way through. So we hope nobody takes them up on that, but no, the only way's up. It's a fantastic town. We're very proud of it, and these people deserve everything they get.
And if you lose, tears before bedtime?
Not even
we should still be happy, but still, we shan't think about losing at this moment.
Whatever happens, we're on the way up. 4 years ago, the Cobblers nearly went out of existence. Since then, we haven't even looked back. So we just keep going forward all the while.
Well, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff at Wembley this afternoon. A crowd of around 65,000 expected. Grimsby starters favourites. Their fans are cautious, though. They often say they're only singing when they're fishing. They've had plenty to celebrate recently, though. The spotlight is on them when we return.
Soon live on Sky Sports, a battle for dominance, a battle of the hemispheres. England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales face the challenge of Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. The pride of the British Isles against the might of the Southern Hemisphere. Now that challenge is about to begin. See Ireland's first game in South Africa next Saturday at 2 on Sky Sports 3.
We see. We hear. We feel. We can even sense things. But For some reason, some of us sense more than others.
Someone once told Pete he was a dead ringer for Ian Wright. Since then, he's been convinced he is Ian Wright, until he tries to play.
At Bupa, we never forget there's only one Pete Bradley. That's why we've got top sports physiotherapists. You're amazing. We'll help you stay that way.
It's deep down there. You can sense it. It'll beat the cold. New Mobil 1, the world's most advanced engine oil. It'll stand the heat. It's with you wherever you go. You can feel it. New Mobil 1 0W40. It will protect your car. And it will protect you. Mobil 1. Feel the difference.
One of these musicians suffers from diarrhea, but thanks to a brand new remedy, Chewable Imodium Plus, it needn't disrupt his life. One dose works with your body to stop diarrhea and help restore your normal balance. To get on with your day, get new Imodium Plus.
Technology today moves in 3 dimensions. Introducing new Protector 3D from Wilkinson Sword. Its wire-wrapped blades now glide, turn and tilt in a fluid 3-way movement for the optimum balance of safety and closeness. Protector 3D from Wilkinson Sword, the feel of smart design. In a fresh new line of performance toiletries.
I put my savings with a bank which gives me a high rate of interest. And where my money is always in easy reach. Standard Life Bank. Opening an account is this easy.
Call 0345 55 56 57 or speak to your independent financial advisor.
Protection, or they could leave vulnerable areas exposed to the pain of sensitive teeth. Sensodyne contains triclosan to help keep my gums healthy, Sensoguard to relieve the pain, and improved levels of fluoride. Sensodyne helps stop the pain and helps stop it coming back. Sensodyne, triple protection for sensitive teeth and gums.
Does your mouth rinse leave you for something more sensitive? Try Sensodyne Gentle Mouth Rinse and a Sensodyne Gentle Toothbrush, the gentler way to start your day.
There's a bird's eye view of the Twin Towers and some very precisely parked buses. And inside, it's filling up all the time. We expect 60 to 65,000 this afternoon. More international football on Wednesday when England play Morocco in Casablanca in the King Hassan Cup. Another chance for Glenn Hoddle to finalise his squad for the World Cup. Wednesday, 5 o'clock on Sky Sports 2. Right now, though, here on Sky Sports 2, it's the second division playoff final between Grimsby and Northampton. Now, honours have been even in recent meetings. Look at that, though. Wembley on his head. Quite bizarre. Sunglasses as well. And the flag's out in force amongst the Northampton supporters with that very distinctive maroon colour that makes this occasion such a colourful one. Now, as I was going to say, before that hat appeared, honours have been even over the years. 3 wins apiece in the last 7 games. Northampton's first ever league game, by the way, was against Grimsby back in August 1920. That's an interesting little fact for you. And the Mariners won 2-0 that day. And I'm sure they settled for a repeat of that. Tommy Widdrington and John Ward are my guests this afternoon. Now, Tommy, you played in the first league meeting between the two sides back in October. What stands out from that encounter?
Well, like we've touched on before, there's a huge difference in styles of play, as we showed there. That's our right winger coming in and working off the centre forward and scoring a goal of pure football, really. And whereas Northampton are a little bit more direct. Again, you see, we're in amongst the balls on the floor. It hasn't left the ground yet, and it still hasn't. Well, I think you'll see that the goals these scored, there we are, they're quite direct.
Route one. First one from a penalty.
I mean, you can't knock that. You know, like we said, people work to the resources they have. We've got great footballers in our side. They've got big, strong lads who probably, you know, their forte is in the air. So they play to their strengths. And again, an aerial ball, and we haven't dealt with it.
Nigel Cleghorn with the winner from the set piece, so a rare setback for Grimsby then. There's been precious few of those this season, and this week Alan Bentley caught a couple of mariners.
I'm gone fishing. I got me a line. Nothing I do is gonna make the difference.
2 out of 10.
Come on! So I'm taking the time.
Can I ask you, first of all, looking back to the Auto Windscreen Shield, what are your abiding memories of the day?
Obviously, the goal, you know, it's going to live in my memory forever. Great day, great occasion, you know. Hopefully we can go back there and repeat the performance.
What do you see as being the key to success on Sunday?
It's going to be very difficult, you know. 2 teams going for 1 prize to play in the First Division next year. What we've got 2 different styles. We like to pass it. I believe Northampton like to get the ball forward as quick as possible. Both can be very successful ways, but hopefully ours will come up on top on Sunday.
And what about you? It seems as though your career's had something of a kick-start since you arrived at Grimsby.
Yeah, you know, came to Grimsby 3 or 4 months ago, and to think of going to Wembley once would have been magnificent, but to get there twice in the space of 2 months is just great, you know. And yeah, I've had a bit of a stop-start in my career, but hopefully things are looking up now.
Aidan, it's been a fantastic season for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, overall, but then again it can all hinge on this one game. If we finish the season now, then we'd say yeah, it's been fantastic overall, but I mean the game that's coming up, it's vital, it's crucial.
And this marvellous record of clean sheets, how many is it now?
It's 33.
Is that a club record?
I think 27 was a club record, so we've gone past that, which is nice. I'm proud of that, but it's obviously not just down to me, it's down to not only the back 4 but everybody else in front of us. You know, we defend as a team, so you know, happy with that.
And when you speak to strikers, they always seem conscious of statistics, who they've scored against, how many they've got. Are you the same as a keeper?
Well, I think people judge you on clean sheets, but I'm personally, if I can go out and if I know I'm going to win the game, then I'll be happy even if I concede one. Obviously clean sheets are a bonus, but at the end of the day, winning's the most important thing for me.
Finally, how's your fishing?
I haven't caught a thing. I'm still waiting.
Super. Come on.
There we go.
Nice big one coming in here. Big one. Look at this beauty. Hey! Come on there. That's what it's all about. Catch of the day.
Well, they didn't catch much then. I wonder if they'll snare this later on this afternoon. Defensively, Tommy, it's been an outstanding season. As we heard from Aidan Davison there, 33 clean sheets is quite remarkable.
That's an astonishing feat. I mean, every good football team is based on their defence, their foundations. Even the England side, you know, you have to have a very strong spine to your side, and we have. And we've got Peter Adley's side and Mark Lever, who've been nearly ever present. Paul Groves, our skipper in midfield, who, you know, he's worth 12 goals a season to year, and he's also very, very handy in our own box. And up the front, Lee Nogan hasn't missed too many games either, so he's had a very good, strong spine to the side. And our wingers have been fantastic, and
yes.
Our fullbacks are very attacking.
Kevin Donovan, 20 goals, his best ever record this season. Scored, I think, for West Brom against Port Vale in the '93 playoff final. So he's been here and done it, and obviously enjoys the big occasion. John.
Yeah, Kevin's played at a high level as well, and he's a good footballer. I've seen Grimsby twice when we played them, and I saw them play away at Bristol Rovers as well, and Kevin tore people apart in all those 3 games that I've seen, and Tommy will have seen him do that a number of times. But for one of your wide players to get that quarter of goals is fantastic, you know. So he's more than just a wide player. He's a good end product man.
Like Donovan, Paul Groves followed Alan Buckley back to Grimsby. The interesting thing about him, Tommy, in his first spell at the club, 4 years, never missed a game, and he's been ever present again this season. That's phenomenal.
It is. I think he's 32. I'll be right in saying he's 32. He's a very fit lad. He's on any long distance running. He's by far and away a good couple of minutes ahead of most of the boys even now. So it's a testament to his own, the way he keeps himself away from football, so that's magnificent. Like I said, I think he's got a dozen or so goals as well. But touching back on Kevin Donovan, not to be too detrimental to wingers, but he's much more than a winger. You know, wingers are your wide man who cross balls. Kev's a lot more than that. He can play up front, he can play behind the front two. He could even have a dabble in midfield, so like you said, he's a lot more of a finished product than just a winger.
Plenty of options for the manager, Alan Buckley, and he is now talking to Alan Bentley.
Alan, your 68th game of the season, does that concern you at all?
Not really now. I think there's so much to play for, so much at stake, and I don't think tiredness in the players' minds will come into it. They just want to get out there and play.
Now you're here just a couple of weeks ago. Will that experience be of benefit to you?
I think so, but I mean, that was like a smashing day out for everybody. There's a lot more at stake this time, and in that sense, Northampton have got more experience than Grimsby Town at that, getting promotion last year here.
You see it very much as a clash of styles today?
Well, I suppose so. I mean, Ian's got his ideas, and I've got my ideas. Nobody's to say who's right or wrong. Both clubs have had a fantastic season, and let's hope it's a super game today.
Now, when you came back here, in your heart of hearts, did you think you'd have 2 Wembley appearances in one season?
When I came back to Grimsby, I mean, you couldn't have scripted it better than the way it's gone. But when I came here about 4 weeks ago, I knew we'd be back again.
And how much are you looking forward to it?
I don't know really. A lot of people say how enjoyable it is, and I think I would imagine that that's everybody apart from a football manager that's got to sit there, you know. But it's a proud moment to take the players out at Wembley again. The important thing is now that we win.
Thanks a lot, Alan.
Thank you.
Well, he had a rough time during his 18-month spell at West Brom, but John, since going back, everything has fitted like a glove for him.
Yeah, I think Grimsby and Alan suit each other, you know. He was there before, did really well, and I don't think they had too much hesitation to invite him back again. And as you've seen, the results since Alan's been there is that they've had success with it, and they seem very comfortable with each other. But he's absolutely right about that bit, about you've got to enjoy it. I don't think you do. He'll only enjoy it at 5 o'clock if they've won, and that's what it's all about. The enjoyment's for the people watching the game, but for the players and the management, it's about winning it.
Yes, they had a very enjoyable time here 5 weeks ago, but this is the big one for those Grimsby supporters with their assorted hats. Remarkable headgear on display today. If you're going to go up, you may as well do it via the playoffs. Northampton did it last year. Can they do it again?
This is an opportunity too good to refuse.
Imagine seeing a movie before it's released at the cinema and before it comes out on video.
Don't tell me that there's something that you'd rather do than make love to me right now.
Sky Movies is proud to announce exclusives, brand new films you can't see anywhere else except Sky Movies. I don't understand. All these films have never been seen before in the UK. A selected few will be the world premiere, the first time the film has ever been shown. Exclusives start soon on Sky Movies Screen 2 with the first ever British screening of Phoenix.
It's a perfect crime.
Starring Angelica Houston and Ray Liotta. Sky Movies exclusives. Remember, you saw it here first.
And you want us to go and see a film?
Making a big epic Hollywood performance of great smelling.
I can perform great smelling.
Great. They also need a big epic Hollywood performance of dryness.
I could do dryness.
The thing is, they need great smelling and dryness together.
Together?
At the same time.
Surely nothing on earth could perform such a task.
Right Guard Double Protection Aerosol. Drier and more fragrant than Des Lynam. Nothing performs better.
Balbon, what is this?
Do not be fooled by its innocent exterior, for inside the mega truffle one encounters an exquisite experience that verges on the scandalous.
Oh, stop.
A luxurious chocolate truffle, nestling seductively at the heart of creamy vanilla ice creams. The delirium of pleasure received in its devouring is quite unprecedented.
Oh, stop. Your mega truffle is wicked.
Yes, it is rather good, isn't it?
You got a mint?
Mint? Try this. It's even better.
Wrigley's Extra. Chewing gum?
Trust me, if you like mints, you'll love them. Extra cool, extra minty, extra flavor. And chewing's great for your teeth. What do you think?
Cool. Very cool.
Really? Thanks.
Wrigley's Extra. Great for your teeth and all the great taste of a mint.
Every time you start your car from cold, it takes a while for your engine to get full protection from its oil. Metal grinds against metal. The damage is permanent. Castrol GTX Magnatech works differently. Unique polarized molecules cling like a magnet, dramatically reducing engine wear. For protection from the moment you turn the key, ask your garage for Castrol GTX Magnatech.
Buy a pair of glasses from Dolland & Aitchison and get a pair of prescription sunglasses absolutely free.
Perfect.
We're back here tomorrow as Charlton and Sunderland go in search of that promised place in the Premiership. 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 2. What a game that's going to be. And what a game we have on our hands this afternoon, the second division playoff final between the favourites, Grimsby, and the cobblers, whatever you want to call them, Northampton, who are looking to go up via the playoffs for the second successive year. And the atmosphere is building all the time. The black and white stripes of Grimsby, a very long journey from the northeast, but Harry has made it, and so have around 20,000 other Grimsby Town supporters. They were making plenty of noise 3 or 4 hours ago outside, and they're making even more now. But Northampton have some 40,000 people here, and they are desperate to repeat their success of 12 months ago. Still in voluntary receivership, don't forget, but what a transformation under Ian Atkins. Let's see what the bookies make of it today. Well, Grimsby are the 6-4 on favourites and Northampton 11-10. Well, they did it last year. Can they do it again? Ian Crocker reports.
Just your average end of May at the Sixfield Stadium. Fans queuing up for their annual Wembley tickets. Players preparing for another trip to the Twin Towers.
Hard work this training, Lark. That's just watching it.
Time for some lunch, I think. I suppose I could invite a few of the lads. Last year's goal-scoring hero, John Frayne. Ian Clarkson looks in need of sustenance. And Dean Peer didn't need asking twice. Is the restaurant this way?
Carbonara, good man.
It's pasta and all things healthy for the players, but not for the reporter.
What was it like scoring the winning goal at Wembley, though? Because everybody dreams of that, don't they, when they're a kid?
Oh, not again.
Tell us what it's like again.
I've tried to describe it many times to different people, but you can't describe it. It's actually happened to you. And then 2 seconds later, the rest blows up final whistle. There's so many emotions going through at the same time with it.
Is it better than sex then, Colin?
Brings you to sex.
You would answer. I know the playoff goal's probably more recent in your mind, but being married.
You know more often.
Well, she thought the goal was better. And you managed to get a goal in the playoff second leg as well, which is quite an achievement.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously I've been doing it in training for sort of 12, 13 years. But finally it's actually happened in a game for me as well, yeah. So I was delighted really.
And that's two goals in 7 games and 2 in 12 years.
2 goals in 12 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a great believer in statistics. Can always tell a story. I mean, you can say 2 in 12 years, or you can say 2 in 7 games. I mean, it depends how you want to word it. If you want to make me look half decent, really.
Yeah, right. So, Dean, a bit of an award for you as well, this Sports Personality of the Month.
Yeah, I think it was an award from a pub, so obviously I must spend a lot of time there.
It's unbelievable to have a sports personality for somebody with no personality whatsoever.
Yeah, player of the month maybe, but personality.
That's a bit far.
Strange description, yeah, you're right.
I think you'll find jealous is an evil thing, really. And,
toilet.
These pair, I don't think they've won an award for a bit, so obviously they're...
Obviously not. They haven't been personalities for a while, have they?
Well, a long time now.
How do you think the rest of the division saw it as just a bunch of cloggers coming up, to kick their way through the division?
Probably so. I mean,
which was, of course, correct.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. They've been proved right, yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, when you come up from the 3rd division, you're a little bit of an unknown quantity. And teams just don't like playing against us. I mean, every time we beat somebody, normally there's masses and masses of sour grapes afterwards. They were dirty, they were physical, they can't play. But we all seem to end up winning, so we must be doing something right.
I think it's beyond everyone's dreams where we are now. I think get over that final hurdle on Sunday. No one will believe it.
Ian Crocker enjoying lunch with 3 of the Northampton players. Tommy Widrington and John Ward are my guests this afternoon. And John, you can sense that underneath all the joking, there's a little bit of annoyance amongst the Northampton players that perhaps they are being dismissed in some quarters.
Yeah, there will be. I mean, I cast my mind back to when I was at Watford with Graham Taylor, and we were dismissed as a long ball side. But like the lads there are saying, we went and got in the 1st division, we came runners up, went to a cup final, and we achieved things. So you say, well, they must be doing some things right, and they are. They're a good side. They've taken 4 points off Bristol City in this season as well, and we've had a decent time of it. They've been a tough team to play against, and people don't particularly like playing against them, and I think that's something that Northampton really deep down they quite enjoy, that nobody enjoys playing against them.
Well, they don't spend much money. They did spend £75,000 on Chris Freestone from Middlesbrough, and he has rewarded them with some important goals. He's a quick, tricky sort of player, isn't he, Tom?
He is. He's an out-and-out striker, really. I mean, obviously Chris felt he was on the fringes at Middlesbrough and it time for a fresh start. And he's gone to Northampton. He's done ever so well. And like he said in the interview earlier, he couldn't have dreamt of coming to Wembley, so he's got to get a chance to get back up into the division Middlesbrough have left.
And another player who you know a fair bit about is John Gale. I believe you had a bit of a tussle with him in a reserve game some years ago.
Well, it wasn't much of a contest, as you can see. I mean, Mike Tyson would do well to have a contest with Big John, but I was only a very young lad in the Southampton reserves, and he was playing for Wimbledon at the time at Plough Lane, funnily enough. And it was just before half time. I went to ground, and I think he went to step over me, but he accidentally stood on my head, and he did actually knock me out. And old George Horsford, bless his soul, who used to be at the Dell, had to sort of guide me into the dressing room, and I didn't know what day it was. I think I went out second half, but I was in a bit of a daze for a while after.
I'm sure you've forgiven him.
He can do what he wants. The size of him, I'm not going to argue about it. I seen him in the tunnel, and he had a quick word with me, and whatever he says goes.
Okay, let's hear from his manager, Ian Atkins.
Ian, before we talk about today, I saw you here last week playing ahead of the Umbro Trophy. How much did you enjoy that?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, especially with the non-league lads as well, you know what I mean? We play every Sunday morning in the Central Warwickshire League. And it was terrific for those, and it was a good experience as well.
Is it one of the regrets, though, of your career that you never played here professionally?
I've been subbed twice, and yeah, I mean, that's the first time I've ever played, and it's like anybody, whatever age you want to be, you always love coming here, and it's a pleasure to play.
As for Northampton, you're going for your second promotion on the bounce, this on a shoestring budget, which I suppose is after the Cobblers. How'd you do it?
Hard work. Everybody knows we're very well organised, we're very well disciplined, and we keep our shape generally extremely well. And yeah, we might not be everybody's cup of tea, but if everybody had my set of players, they might choose to do it differently, but then they might be bottom of the league.
Yeah,
sorry. All we do is get the best out of what we've got, try them nothing difficult, and make them do nothing difficult, and all perform in a team pattern.
Yeah, you said the victory over Bristol Rovers was down to power football. First of all, what is it? And secondly, are we going to see it again today?
Oh, as I say, it's one of those things. We'll see how the game goes. I mean, we can do things. We can either go for it, we can sit behind the ball, and depending what happens with the game, how the game's flowing, and we'll change accordingly as we can our system.
And you're hoping that last year's Wembley experience will stand you in good stead?
Oh, I hope so, but as I say, when you come out here again, you don't know how people and players are going to react. We've done a lot of work in training,
of what we want to achieve today, but as I say, once they've crossed over that white line, sometimes you don't know what to expect, but we're quietly confident.
And honours even in the league, is it going to be a tight one again?
Oh, I think it will. I think, as I say, it was 1-0 down there and Grimsby deserved to win. And I think we're the only side this year to come from a goal behind against Grimsby. We were 1 down at half-time at Sixfields and completely turned the game around second, and we deservedly won. So to say things like that, if we do go behind, don't bother us, but we won't be down today. We'll be ahead.
Thanks a lot.
No apologies from Ian Atkins, and quite rightly so. Out of the frying pan, into the first. That's what Grimsby's supporters reckon this afternoon. Could be. 68 games, win or bust. We are. Grimsby have played more games than anybody else this season. Have they got it in them to win one more? After 68 games, this is the one they have to win. There's that guy with his hat again. I do hope he keeps it nice and tidy throughout the 90 minutes and someone doesn't splatter it in the celebration or in the misery of defeat. We're back with the whole game after the break.
Summer's heating up, and so is Super League.
Look at this! Breathtaking! Oh, that's brilliant!
It's what everyone's talking about. Join in with the summer game that's on a high. It just gets better and better. So put your hands in the air for the JJB Super League, continuing Monday at 7:30 on Sky Sports 1. And let the boys from Super League entertain you all summer long, in association with JJB Sports.
The new United home shirt, as worn by the fans and players of Manchester United. It's not available until May the 19th, but you can order for you and your kids now, direct from Manchester United, and we promise delivery on the launch day. Just call 0161 877 9777. That's 0161 877 9777.
Looking forward to a nice summer? We've got just what your garden needs, and at low key season prices.
Parasols, tables, chairs.
Only B&Q has tropical hardwood furniture certified by the FSC.
And we've got loads of barbecue, charcoal, gas.
This one comes with a side burner for under £100. Smoking.
Get planting.
We've got the compost, the plants, Petunia, Busy Lizzie, even hanging basket kits.
Find them anywhere locally for less, and we'll refund double the difference.
You can do it.
When you're B&Q is.
I put my savings with a bank which gives me a high rate of interest. And where my money is always in easy reach. Standard Life Bank. Opening an account is this easy.
Call 0345 55 56 57 or speak to your independent financial advisor.
Every time you start your car from cold, it takes a while for your engine to get full protection from its oil. Metal grinds against metal. The damage is permanent. Castrol GTX Magnatech works differently. Unique polarized molecules cling like a magnet, dramatically reducing engine wear. For protection from the moment you turn the key, ask your garage for Castrol GTX Magnatech.
Welcome back to Wembley, where we are just minutes away from the start of the second division playoff final between Grimsby Town and Northampton Town. Big crowd here today, Northampton with more supporters, but if the bookies and the experts are right, they're going to need them. John Ward and Tommy Witherington are with me now. Tommy, I remember saying to you before the Auto Windscreen Shield that it must be a nightmare for an injured player to sit and watch his teammates go out at Wembley, and now you're having to do it for a second time.
It's very difficult indeed. I mean, I knew the prospect of being at Wembley twice this season was apparent, but I had a choice to make towards the end of March, whether I had an operation on my back then or I waited till the end of the season, hoping it was going to cure itself. As it was, I felt the decision to get the problem away so it doesn't come back, because I would have hated to have been a bit part player now and then have to miss out the start of next season. So I've had a bit of time to get my head around that, but it's not until now, like I said last time, when they're just coming out, and I think I'm so close to them lads down there, I just want to be in the black and white shirt walking out myself. You know?
I bet you do. I bet you do. 3 years ago, John, your Bristol Rovers side played Huddersfield in the second division playoff final. You lost that, but just take us back to how you were feeling and how Alan Buckley will be feeling as he walks up that tunnel.
Yeah, I think this is the one moment as a manager that you really look forward to and you really enjoy, leading your team out. There are not that many managers able to do that, and to get that, have that occasion for you in your career, then this is something that I think they can save. Then all the hard work starts, doesn't it? You know, all the pressure then of the game and just hoping you win.
Fantastic moment. Ian Atkins and his son Jamie, who's actually leading the Northampton side out. He did that 12 months ago. He didn't want to do it again today, but his dad said, "You've got to, you're our lucky charm." Which is fair enough.
Yeah, it's great. It's all superstitions, isn't it? You get loads of those in the game, and whilst you don't want to do things, then something you just have to do, and if he's taking the little lad out, brilliant.
This is better than the Auto Windscreen Shield.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Like we said, both teams have played 46 games in the league, and in retrospect, it means nothing now. That's gone. It doesn't matter how many games you've won, lost, drawn, goals conceded, goals for. It's all out the window now. This is a cup final with a bigger thing at stake, because next season there's another cup final and another cup final. But for these two teams, you know, it's the one chance at this moment in time that they've got to better themselves. And every player in any league he plays wants to better himself. If it's local park football, if it's Vauxhall Conference, you want to be a professional player. And of course, we're in the second division, and Northampton Town lads, they want to become first division footballers.
The form of both sides was poor in the last few weeks of the season, but again, John, that doesn't matter at all now, does it?
No, it doesn't. Nothing matters at all apart from this game. And as Tommy said, everything that's gone before is now down to one match. And as we saw on Friday night, it can rest on a decision, it can rest on a bit of luck, it can rest on an injury. Your best player suddenly has a great day today, or someone strikes a shot from 20 yards and it flies in, where perhaps the rest of the season it's been going over the top. It's just on one game, and the whole sort of careers of people sometimes rest on this kind of thing.
Let's hope it isn't a controversial decision this afternoon that decides this match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I witnessed both legs of the semi-final in our playoffs, and I felt the referee had an amazing bit part to play in the Fulham game. First of all, he sent off one of the Fulham players, and then he awarded what I felt was a very dubious penalty. And then again in Grimsby, another one of the Fulham lads was sent off, so they could feel a little bit harshly done to, having to play the semi-final with 10 men.
The chief guest today, by the way, is Alistair Dales, who is the Executive Director for Nationwide. And he's being accompanied by David Sheepshanks, the Chairman of the Football League. Ray Warburton, the Northampton captain, doing the introductions. Lots of polite handshakes, but really the players just can't wait to get on with it.
Ray's a really strong player, you know. I had him at York City. I actually gave him a free and he went down to Northampton. We've wondered if his career would actually carry on. He had a bit of a back problem up there, but to him to come into Wembley and be playing in there and sort of taking his team out, it's fantastic for him.
And he popped in with a crucial goal, of course, in the playoffs, his first of the season. Paul Groves is the Grimsby skipper. Never short of a word.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't praise Groves enough. He's not the shouting ball and roll your sleeve up type guy. He's quiet. He walks down around the dressing room having a chat, and he's a talker, but not a shouter and ball. I like myself. But you know, the boys will just be itching to get away from all this pomp and what have you. Now they want me kicking the ball around, settling their nerves, and get the game underway.
Well, they haven't got long to wait now. By my reckoning, 5 minutes till kick-off. And then all the doubts And all the apprehension can be put to one side, and there'll just be 90 minutes between either Grimsby and Northampton and the First Division, or possibly 120 minutes, and just possibly a penalty shootout as well.
Let's hope it doesn't go to penalties, because I mean, it's the whole season's been about football, and to decide your future on a penalty shootout would, I think, be a travesty of justice. So let's hope it gets sorted out in the 90 minutes.
Well, Paul Groves has appeared in 2 playoff finals before, and both of those did go to penalty shootouts. He lost one, he won the other. He certainly won't want to go through that again. The final handshake is conducted. Everyone is in position, and it's time now for the national anthem. Well, that was a rousing rendition. Final word from Tommy and John. Who's going to win? John?
I'm going for Northampton.
What's your game?
Well, of course I'm going for Grimsby Town.
OK, more from you both at half-time. Let's now join our match commentators, Alan Brazil and Rob Hall.
Wembley then getting to be a habit for Grimsby and Northampton. Northampton's second visit in a year, for Grimsby their second in 5 weeks. And their prompt return to Wembley gives Jack Lester the perfect opportunity to work out his frustration at missing the last slice of glory. 22-year-old Lester was suspended for an unnecessary 5th booking collected against Wrexham in the Auto Windscreen Shield final, but his return at the expense of Darrell Clare is the only change to the side that emerged victorious against Bournemouth. It includes Wayne Burnett, who got Grimsby's golden goal winner that day, and Kevin Donovan, Lee Nogan and Paul Groves, who've all previously scored here in playoff finals.
Yes, big game. 4-4-2 for Grimsby this afternoon. Aidan Davidson, what a season he's had. 3 clean sheets out of 62 games in goal. From right to left, McDermott, the fullback, the 2 centre-halves, so Peter Handyside, Scotland under-21 international, Mark Lever alongside him, and Tony Gallimore, left fullback. Across the midfield, Dave Smith flying up and down the left-hand side. Paul Groves, good leader out there, hard-working midfield player. Alongside him, Wayne Burnett, good passer of the ball, loves to get on the ball. He's a playmaker for Grimsby Town. And just outside him, the right-hand side, Kevin Donovan scored 2 goals against Northampton already this season in league matches. He is vital for this afternoon, vital player. Up front, the youngster Jack Lester, and alongside him, ex-Welsh international, very experienced, Lee Nogan.
A year on from the John Frayne free kick that levered them into this division, Northampton returned with 7 participants that day still in the fold. Some have moved on, others like the influential duo of Roy Hunter and Sean Parrish are injured, but the side has been bolstered by the experience of Northern Ireland international Colin Hill, the midfield drive of James Hunt from Notts County, the attacking flair of Chris Freeston from Middlesbrough, and the presence of Carl Heggs, part of the Swansea side that Northampton defeated here last term.
Yeah, wing-back formation for Northampton Town. Ian Atkins, I think maybe rather unfairly, quoted about the long ball merchants, but what a glory year. Back last year winning the playoff, back again. Wing-backs, Ian Clarkson right-hand side, John Frayne left-hand side. Last-minute goal last year. Sampson, Hill and Ray Warburton. Warburton attacking the ball, the 3 centre-halves. In midfield, Dean Peer, hard-working midfield player. James Hunt, alongside him Carl Heggs. I think this fella got a lot of skill. If he can get the ball to the feet of Carl Heggs, he can produce for the likes of Gale and Freestone. Freestone will actually just play off Big John Gale today, especially the first 20 minutes. But Freestone has to be watched. Quicksilver, whereas Gale, he's a target man.
Well, footballers are notoriously superstitious, and Northampton come here using the same dressing room with their fans at the same end as they were last year, and the one stroke of luck that they couldn't have banked on, the same referee, Terry Heilbron, who awarded the twice taken free kick that eventually led Northampton to victory in that final against Swansea. On both occasions the kick was taken by John Frayne. The second one went in. It was virtually the last kick of the game, and it sent the Northampton fans into obvious raptures. Wayne Burnett's golden goal for Grimsby was the very last kick of the match in the final of the Auto Windscreen Shield 5 weeks ago against Bournemouth. No golden goal in the playoff final. The full 30 minutes of extra time would be played if needed, and then if the game still wasn't settled in that time, it would go to a penalty shootout. The penalties have never been required to separate sides in this division's final. A massive crowd here. It's expected to be the biggest crowd for the playoff final in this division. The previous best just short of 60,000 when John Ward's Bristol Rovers lost here to Huddersfield 3 years ago. But Northampton fans back for their second visit in a year. Not so many Grimsby fans. The fact that it's their second visit here in such a short period of time has clearly taken its toll. But Alan Buckley will hope that despite the fact his supporters are roughly outnumbered 2-1, they can inspire the team to a similar success, even though this is a very different sort of game and a different sort of occasion to the one that they enjoyed against Bournemouth.
Without a doubt, it seems at the end of that match, but Alan Buckley will be under no illusions. This is the big one. He'll understand Northampton are a hard side to break down, and I think Northampton early on are going to play this so tight, Rob. I think they're going to tuck the wing backs in and really try and stifle the midfield two of Groves and especially Wayne Burnett. You stop them having the ball, they can't get it wide to the danger man Donovan. And Ian Atkins, he's a studier. He'd have watched so many Grimsby tapes. He understands that down the right-hand side, Donovan is a real handful, and Smith down the left-hand side.
Well, it is a great occasion, but whereas Grimsby's last visit here was more of a day out, and in the end it didn't really matter whether you won or lost, it means quite a lot more today. And both sets of supporters recognise that, and they've built up a very fervent atmosphere, as there always tends to be for these occasions. Nothing to choose between them in previous league games. Grimsby have won one, Northampton the other, both when they were at home. But today is an occasion for the players to be fearless and focused on the prospect of First Division football next season. A massive incentive then for Grimsby and Northampton. The playoff zone in the second division tighter than in any of the others. 2 points separated all four teams who took part in the playoffs. Grimsby finished a point ahead of Northampton in the final table, but it's Northampton who'll get this match underway. Dean Pear and Chris Freestone over the ball. Terry Heilbron going through the final checks. And the 1998 Second Division playoff final at Wembley is underway. And here is Ian Clarkson, one of the survivors from Northampton's victory last year. Northampton do have this uncompromising style, and they are expected to really go for it in the opening exchanges. Here's Gallimore, the man who's become a father this week, looking for a double celebration. His other half gave birth to a baby boy. And Andy Woodman, who produced a splendid save in the early stages of last season's match from Carl Heggs, who this season is a teammate of his. He's looking for Freestone with a kick, headed away by Groves, but this is Clarkson. Looking for Pear with a cross. In comes Frayne. And Heggs here will put pressure on Gallimore, and it's gone behind for the goal kick. And Grimsby's goalkeeper, Aidan Davison, really does have a remarkable record this season. He's played in 62 matches and kept clean sheets in 30 of them.
Great atmosphere here, Rob, isn't it?
Over Nogan's head, won by Hill, back to Groves, this is Lee Nogan. McDermott. This is Donovan. And somehow it managed to get under the boot of Warburton, but Colin Hill was there behind to tidy up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle. John Frayne on the left and Kevin Donovan. Donovan can go outside, whips him in, or can come inside on his left foot.
Lever. Leicester. Now Donovan. Burnett. McDermott. This is Paul Groves. Grimsby getting a very hostile reception to their early possession from this massive Northampton support. Jack Lester. McDermott trying to get the early ball in, but it's cut out by Warburton. This is John Gale. Heggs. Cleared by Handyside. Burnett. Leicester. And Freestone here will give chase against Peter Handyside, who was looking for the back pass.
Right away you can tell Handyside's very aware of Chris Freestone's pace. Was looking, had a good look with his goalkeeper was, but was it, you know, he knew the presence of Freestone and he'd be worried about this fella's pace.
Frayne came off the head of Dean Peer, who's one of the four former Birmingham players in the lineup. He, Clarkson, Gale and Frayne had all previously won the Leyland Daft Trophy here with Birmingham. Ian Atkins, of course, another ex-St Andrews man, coached there, and we remembered them from those days.
No doubt when the ball's wide on the left, whether it be Heggs or Frayne, watch for Peer. Try get on the far post.
Heggs has been converted by Northampton this season from an orthodox striking role to a position wide on the left.
Like Heggs when he's on the ball, Rob, he's a few tricks, good ability, will try and find the pace of Freestone, a nice through ball. Whereas John Gale, he's the outlet ball. If Northampton are under pressure, they'll knock it up to Big Gailey and expect him to hold it up and wait for support.
Gale, who was actually substituted during last year's playoff final. Jason White, who's since left for Rotherham, came on to take his place. And this is Colin Hill to take the free kick. One of 7 free transfer signings in this Northampton lineup. Sampson's header, there's Burnett. Won by Freestone from Donovan. Number 6 is James Hunt. Laid back towards Dean Peer. And although it broke for him, he couldn't get it to Clarkson because Gallimore was there for Grimsby. Frayne. Not getting too much on the header. Leicester in there just unsettling them. This is Smith. Tony Gallimore. Leicester